Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 3 from Mirage Comics. So in the last issue we had the first introduction to Baxter as well as April O'Neil and the Mousers, and we had Baxter trying to extort a bunch of businesses in New York City, or Manhattan I should say, by using the Mousers, and then the Turtles were able to track him down to his base. They stopped him, and they stopped all of the Mousers. And this issue picks off right where the last one ended. So we start off with April and the Turtles leaving the sewers after stopping Baxter, and she thanks them and gives the Turtles her phone number in case they need any help with anything. And the Turtles end up going back to their home in the sewers. And when they arrive, they realize that the place is a mess. Master Splinter is missing, and there's a bunch of broken Mousers everywhere. And they search to see if they can find their father, and all they find is more broken Mousers and blood. So they've put together that Splinter must have been attacked by the Mousers before the Turtles were able to shut off the power to the Mousers in the previous issue. So they have no idea where he's at. Their place is destroyed, and the cops are going to be arriving soon to check out the sewers because they've been informed about, Baxter and all that stuff. So the Turtles can't stay here. They got to leave before the construction crew and the cops and stuff arrive. So they leave, and they call April, and they ask her if she can pick them up and take them someplace that they can lay low for a while. And so she arrives in the minivan, and yes, a Volkswagen van. And I believe this is the van that the Turtlemobile from the cartoon series is based off of. It looks exactly the same. So yeah, I guess this is the first introduction to the quote-unquote Turtlemobile. It was actually April's Volkswagen. Most of this issue is actually a car chase. So basically, after they hop into April's van, they're driving back to her place when a cop pulls by and sees the van and recognizes that it looks similar to the vehicle used in the robbery just 20 minutes ago. And so the cops chase April down, and the Turtles tell April to step on it because they can't stop her, because if they do, then they'll see the Turtles. Yeah, they're not going to be able to explain their way out of that. So we have a very long chase scene with April causing car crashes left and right. Like, she stops one police car by causing it to crash, only to have another one pop up. She makes a detour into the park, almost runs over a couple of people, causes another cop car to crash. She pulls out of the park only for another cop car to chase her, and that one crashes thanks to April. So yeah, she's causing a lot of crashes, a lot of public destruction. And eventually she nears another Volkswagen, and it turns out that this is the one that actually did the robbery. So April kind of bumps it a bit and causes it to tip over and crash into another police car. And the cops think that this van, the bank robbery van, was the one that they were chasing. So as they surround the real bank robbers, April was able to make her escape. So yeah, that was pretty much like half of the issue. Half of the issue is just the cops chasing down April and the Turtles in her minivan. And yeah, it's kind of a cool car chase scene. It would actually probably be a cool scene to see if they ever like fully adapted it. Like, if for whatever reason they ever decided to do a adaptation of the Mirage comics, that'd probably be a cool chase scene. So yeah, she eventually takes the Turtles to her apartment, and we get just a very quick backstory about, like, she's the only one that lives in the apartment. She was living there with her dad, but her dad had a stroke 6 months ago, and he's now living in the nursing home. And the Turtles, we understand, we lost our father too, but we're going to try to find him. And she basically asks them, you guys want anything to drink? They ask for beer, and then when she comes back with beer, they're all passed out asleep, and that's how their story ends. And then we get an epilogue, And it's funny because the epilogue usually you'll think would be like a few pages. This one's actually almost half of the size of the regular story. So we find out what happened with Splinter. So Splinter is almost unconscious. He's kind of like drifting in and out of consciousness, wounded in the sewers. And we get a flashback of what happened. Basically, he heard a bunch of noise. He thought it might have been his sons, but turns out it was Mausers. They attacked. He fought them off. They injured him, but he was able to destroy the Mausers before making his escape. And yeah, like we see them eventually catch up to Splinter, and they surround him. But before they can finish him off, they get orders to change direction. They leave Splinter alone. And this was basically when Baxter made the emergency override to have all the Mausers come after his secret lair and eat it all up to destroy all the evidence. So basically, Baxter unknowingly saved Splinter by changing the Mausers' orders right before they were about to eat him. So yeah, Splinter passes out in the water. He gets swept away, and eventually some crewmen show up, and they see Splinter, and they're about to kill him when he talks. And they're like, oh wow, like giant talking rat, like what the hell is going on here? So they take Splinter, and they take him to a laboratory where they heal him up, and Splinter eventually wakes up and he leaves. And as he's searching like the laboratory and wondering, what's going on, he sees that the people that saved him aren't humans, but they're actually the Utroms, which anyone who's watched the original cartoon, that's what Krang is based off of. Krang is based off of the Utroms. So yeah, they're like little brain-looking aliens with arms that have robot bodies that look like humans. And yeah, Splinter's like, he discovers this, and that's how it ends. So yeah, that's issue number 3. It's basically the introduction to the Utroms. Krang, in a sense. I mean, Krang is based off of the Utroms. So yeah, it's the introduction to them, and I guess April's apartment and minivan. So yeah, it was a pretty fun comic. The car chase kind of went pretty long, but I mean, at least it was well written. Like and it was also not just well written, but like well drawn and paneled out and stuff like that, like laid out, so that like you can actually see. It was almost like reading like a storyboard, like a movie storyboard. So like you can see exactly what's going on. So yeah, it was a really well done car chase scene, but that's mostly what it was. It was mostly just a car chase scene. They go to April's apartment, and then Splinter discovers the Utroms, and that's kind of it. It was still an enjoyable issue. If I were to rank it, so above average, it was good. It wasn't great or phenomenal or terrific or anything like that, but it was good. It was a good issue. I liked it. I still think the first two are obviously better, especially the first one. First one was of the 3 so far. First issue was the best. Second issue was the second best, and third issue is the third best. So far we started off strong, and I don't want to say we went down from there because that seems too negative. But first issue started off really, really good, and second issue was good, but not as good. And then the third issue was still good, but not as good as the previous 2. But I'm hoping things will start turning around, especially when I believe the next issue, do we get Casey Jones? But yeah, there you go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 3 from Mirage Comics. It's kind of cool going back and reading these old issues. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this Mirage, what would I call it? Retrospective, retro review, retro summary, whatever you guys want to call it. But I'm hoping you guys are enjoying me going back and going through all the old Mirage comics in order. But I hope you guys have a good one, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.